Ciao, everyone. Hello, I hope you can hear me. I'm both on Instagram and on YouTube. Hi, here we are for this juicy live entitled Yoni Power. Transform your sexuality in power, love, and success. Today we're going to talk about her, about our Yoni power. Welcome, everyone. So, today we're going to talk about our Yoni, our center of sexuality, our center of creativity, our center of intuition, and also an alchemic portal of transformation. Welcome, everyone. So what I'm offering you today, it's not just a simple live. It's a rite of passage, after which you will see the Yoni in a completely different way, as a doorway that you can choose to go through for your personal and spiritual evolution. This is the code, this is the key to unlock. And I want to say one more thing. For those of you who stay till the end, there's going to be a surprise at the end of this live. Hello, welcome everyone. So only for those who stay till the end of this live, there will be a surprise, a gift for you. So while you're here, please write down where you are writing from, because I love to know where you are connecting from, and I also love to put people in contact. So people who follow the Aphrodisiac way of sacred sexuality, maybe they live close to each other and they can practice my teachings, meeting in person. And it's very beautiful. So I love also to hear from you, so I can feel you closer. First of all, why our sexuality in society is apparently the most under-evaluated power. Do you know what the majority of women, of students, before they start their training with me, what do they say from every part of the world? They tell me sentences like, I cannot experience pleasure with my partner. I have a very low self-esteem. I can't orgasm. I have a sexual block. I keep attracting the wrong partners. Who does really relate with that? Give a sign in the chat. But many women also ask me, how can I set myself free? How can I change my life? How can I improve my relationship and my sexuality with my partner and husband? Or also, how can I attract a healthy relationship? How can I earn money doing what I love? How can I feel alive and satisfied? Feeling that my life has a meaning, a sense. Do you sometimes ask yourself these questions as well? Let me know in the comments. Now, on a scientific level, everything I just said has a lot to do with feedback loop. The feedback loop are circuits of brain cerebral retroaction. Neuroscience now has demonstrated how positive behaviors reinforce the neuronal connections that generate well-being and self-efficacy. So what does it mean? That when we experience something that gives us pleasure, that makes us feel realized, our brain releases dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, which are the hormones of well-being, the hormones of pleasure, and are neurotransmitters that improve the mood, the motivation, the ability to make decisions, and all our sexual vital energy improves when we are in a good circuit. So this creates an ascending spiral that we will call positive trend. Okay. At the same time, the absence of pleasure and connection with a partner, connection with our body and our pleasure, generates negative loops of anxiety, disconnection, zero desire in sex and love, unsatisfaction, and very low vital sexual energy. The good news, if you're experiencing a negative loop spiral, the good news is that we can absolutely intervene on these circuits of feedback loop, refocusing the energy towards experiences, bodily experiences, Aphrodisiac rituals, and inner transformations that involve and go through the re-education of our nervous system through practices of sacred sexuality and pleasure. So even in the difficult moments of life that will come, because we are cyclic, I am very far from New Age teachings that everything is perfect. No, sometimes there is shit in life, okay? So run away from the toxic gurus that tell you that everything is perfect and everything has been planned, because this is just emotional and spiritual bypass. What I am saying, it's different. So please listen carefully to what I say. So when the difficult moments will come, there is a way in which we can be more resilient, which doesn't mean, oh, everything is perfect, pretending everything is perfect, but feeling everything, but building up a positive trend that will give us the resilience and the ability to acknowledge the difficult moments and transform them into something resourceful for us, for our life, for our psyche. And there is a very juicy method to do that, to learn to use the challenges of life as a compost for our personal and spiritual evolution. This means that there is a method that involves sacred sexuality, so it's very pleasurable, that will teach us and rewire our brain to readdress our thoughts and our energy towards a positive polarization of the feedback loops that I was talking about. So that in every challenge or negative peak, or even in cases of trauma, this trauma can be transformed into mother of pearl. This is what I call the Aphrodisiac way. So through sacred sexuality, we can do like the oyster that puts mother of pearl around a trauma, basically. So we don't say, oh, everything is perfect and pretend we are okay when we aren't. Neither we indulge in complaining, but we acknowledge the difficult part, the trauma, the pain, and we put something beautiful. We heal through beauty and pleasure. That's what I teach and what I guide women and men to do. So that the trauma, so transformed through this process of the pearl, of the mother of pearl, becomes a gift for ourselves, first of all, and then can become a gift for other people, so that we can live with a natural orientation towards a natural state of basic optimism that I prefer to call self-love, which tells us that we are not only able to make it in life, but we can use those difficult moments to evolve, to shine, to thrive. So when the difficult moments will arrive, we will feel them. Yes, we will acknowledge them, but we will be trained through the practices that I teach of sacred sexuality. We will be trained to improve progressively our life, even in those difficult moments, even thanks to these moments, refining our soul. And here I'm quoting the immense psychologist and psychotherapist James Hillman, who wrote the remarkable book Alchemic Psychology, in which he tells that there is a natural tendency of the human being to alchemize and to transform our souls into gold. So that's what we learn through sacred sexuality. And now I'm getting there to explain you what is the connection of this with sexuality and couple relationships. First of all, I ask you, please answer either in the chat or within yourself. Answer to this question. You can even write down on your journal. Have you ever noticed that sometimes you enter a negative feedback loop, a descending spiral, a vicious circle? Yes or no? And have you ever managed to break this circle or to go out of this circle and entering a positive loop? Yes or no? And did you notice that when you did it, when you made it, it was always, always, always connected to pleasure, to self-love, to beauty, to creativity? And that brought an important shift in your life. Have you ever noticed it? And talking about the positive trend, have you ever noticed that? And here I'm getting with the connection between the trend, the feedback loop, and sexuality. This is the great question. Have you ever noticed that when your sexuality and your relationship with your partner is thriving, because love relationships is the greatest training ever, or should be, in healthy relationships. Like me and my husband, we've been together for 11 years and we have 2 sons, and we also share the business, and we're still so juicy in bed and so in love, and we help each other to evolve. That's what love should do. Helping each other to open the wings. So have you noticed that when your sexuality and your love life, your relationship is thriving, also the other aspects of your life are thriving because you feel more self-esteem, more self-love, you feel more healthy, you feel more with good energy, you are more performative in work, or more self-confident. And maybe you have that confidence to go to your boss and ask for a higher salary, and therefore your finances grow, and therefore you can travel more with your husband or partner. You can go to more concerts with your friends, you can buy more books, and read more. I don't know, you have more free time, you enjoy more your free time with your children, with your parents, with your family, with your friends. You have more of what you really desire, more freedom of choice when your sexuality and relationship, love relationship, is thriving. Have you ever noticed that in any phase of your life? Please let me know. I'm curious. So now let's go to the title of today's live. What is the Yoni power? Yoni power means recognizing, acknowledging, reclaiming the creative, magnetic, healing, and transformative power of our sexual energy. I am not talking about sex like conceived in pornography, like a pure hips exercise. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sacred sexuality. I'm talking about the vital force that allows you to create and manifest your reality, to realize our dreams and desires. And believe me, through the mastery of sacred sexuality that I teach also to my students, I realized all of my desires, so much so that I had to create new desires, and I have new also. And I'm on the way to realize even the new ones in very little time. And also my students, following my method and my path, my teachings of sacred sexuality, they're also realizing all their dreams in their sex and relationship and couple life, in their work, in their finances. You can really have the power. This is the creative power that creates everything. We are here thanks to our sexual energy. You can realize all of your dreams and desires. You can build healthy relationships. You can find your voice in the world, reconnecting with your Yoni power through your pleasure. Like the immense Audre Lorde, the Afro-American poet and activist, wrote, listen to her quote, "The erotic is a source of power, deeply female and spiritual. And the open and fearless underlying of that power is an act of resistance." So it means that reclaiming our sexual energy is an act of resistance, is a political act that can impact also the culture, the society. That's the change I want to bring, and I'm bringing with my students from all over the world. They're impacting other women, and it's like spreading. It's unstoppable. I am so moved every time, whenever I help women to reclaim their Yoni power. I see their changes. They become queens, but not in a bad way, in a good way, with the benefits of their relationships with their partner, benefits at every level. And they also, when they do sex coach training, they learn how to help other women to do the same. And I read the thesis and the study cases, and they have immense results also with other women. So it's something that it's increasing more and more, and it's so impactful and it's so beautiful. Have you ever felt like this? Like within you, you felt this strong aliveness, this erotic or better Aphroditic energy, profound, that wisdom, because our Yoni has a wisdom that is ready to guide you. Hmm? That's the door that brings us from pleasure to transformation. Yes. In sex coach training that today I'm going to introduce to you, this is the last live of presentation of my sex coach training, which is the only training in the world officially recognized and cited by the best universities of the world, where I hold the conferences, which trains you to be a sex coach specialized in yoni wands of any shape, any crystal, any dimension, and yoni eggs and anal wands. So all these natural crystals as tools of pleasure. So in sex coach training, I guide women, brilliant women like you, to reawaken this energy and transform that into self power to change their lives. You can change your life in every aspect. And also for those who want, they can train to become professionals, to become guides for other women's. And do you know what's the most beautiful thing? That in helping other women, you continuously heal yourself. And in sex coach training, you learn how to help other women through your own healing, through pleasure and beauty and ecstasy and orgasm as medicine. I've seen with my eyes women that even if they had been mothers for 10 or 20 years, and women who were in relationships for many years, or maybe they had profound wounds, they have discovered a new version of themselves, a version which is more alive, more sensual, more luminous, more radiant. So they become women through the sexual revolution, working on the pelvic floor, but working on 360 degrees. They become women who are not afraid to take space, to be visible, to shine in the world, to occupy the space of word and action, to make decisions, to occupy all the places, the positions in which they can impact the world. So this is a very feminist and matriarchal and juicy path, where for feminist I don't mean the patriarchy with a gone. This is not feminism. This is not matriarchy. I mean raising the women power through sacred sexuality, to reclaiming our sexual power, to reclaiming our yoni power, and then building up a society of partnership, a Gilanic society of cooperation between women, between themselves, and between women and men. And I've seen these women, after years of marriage, they became more alive, more luminous. And this is not just a miracle. This is the result of natural coming back in contact with our vital and sexual energy. So when our sexual energy is consciously reawakened, something very profound happens, because we change the way in which we perceive ourselves. We feel more centered, more self-confident, more grounded. We take space of word and action. This is not arrogance. This is sovereignty codes. We improve our psychosomatic health. So forget all about this pains in menstruation, pains in penetration. There are many women that come to me and tell, oh, I feel pain in penetration. After applying my method, which is recognized by the best universities of the world, they forget about pain and only open to pleasure. So also they learn how to deal with anxiety, and they start sleeping for a good number of hours. So no insomnia anymore, no tension, no stress. The body learns through the work on Yoni reflexology, but also on all the parts of the body, through the work on sacred sexuality, involving all the practices of Chinese medicine, of emotional fluidity, all through pleasure and sexuality. The nervous system relaxes and is rewired, so much so that our bodies can open up to receive more pleasure, to thrive in pleasure. Because there are many women who say, okay, this is too much pleasure. So they don't allow actually more pleasure, more abundance, more love to come in. So with sex coach training, which is based on my Yoni Egg and Yoni Wand technology method, we learn how to expand and become wide enough to let more pleasure in, more love in, which means more abundance in. So we feel more vital, because when we are in touch with our healthy sexual energy, and I'm not talking about the sexuality that the majority of people experience, the one with genital release, and then they feel super tired after sex, after an orgasm. No, I'm talking about another level of making love, just another level. There are 4 levels of love making that I teach in my sex coach training. All of the world knows just the first. The majority of the world knows just the first level of orgasm. But there are 4 levels, my dear ones, my beloveds. So when we know the other levels of the orgasm, we feel more vital, more full of energy. And in the morning, we don't wake up like, oh my goodness, the alarm. I am so tired. Forget about that. You wake up with a lot of energy. You feel more creative, more with more motivation, and therefore you increase your natural magnetism, not out of effort or out of strategies, but because you are so vital, connecting with your yoni power, that you become magnetic and other people start noticing you and want to stay in your proximity, because you're magnetic and you have something that they want to learn, which is power, connection, love, which is something that everyone deserves. So in sex coach training, you learn how to develop your own self-power, self-love, and feel always that kind of energy, which is radiating and magnetizing everything you want in life. You will improve your relationship with your partner. I have so many students. My students go from 30 years old to 70 years old from all over the world. And even after children, after menopause, after years of meh sex, like unsatisfying sex, they have learned how to make love like never before in their lives, even with their longtime partners. And the majority of partners, believe me, they are very happy to explore with you these new ways of lovemaking. The majority of my students, they come to me and they say, oh, my partner liked that practice that we did. We learned in sex coach training. It's wonderful. We made love like never before. This is the sentence that I hear and read the most from my students. And what does it bring? This brings, because it's also sex and love education. This brings more cooperation, more tenderness in the couple, and also the birth of shared projects together, reciprocal rediscovering and reigniting of the couple flame. It really can be reignited even after 20, 30, 40 years of marriage. Now, please be honest in answering that other question. You can always write down either in the chat or in your journal. Did you ever think that pleasure after a certain age or after a long-term relationship and daily routine is destined to expire? Does pleasure expire in a couple or at a certain age for you? Yes or no? The answer is no. If you know that pleasure can evolve with you, can be refined. And in my training, in my sex coach training, I teach the ars amandi, which in Latin means the art of lovemaking, which is Aphrodite art. So it can be refined, it can blossom again and reach levels of pleasure that you never experienced, revitalizing you and every aspect of your life. So the feedback loop I was talking at the beginning of this life can become a positive feedback loop with a positive trend, even if you are 40, 50, 60, 70. Believe me, I have students that are still learning and they're 70. They're still learning with me and they're revolutionizing their sex life. So even that can become, even after years and years of marriage, you can live a positive feedback loop in sexuality and your love relationship. So you can do sex coach training if you feel called. First of all, for yourself, to love more yourself, to feel more pleasure, to feel more energetic, and to improve every other area of your life, to improve your relationship with your partner. And there are other students who, like maybe you, who want to do it as a helping profession. Women who say, if it worked for me, I want to offer that method, the Yoni and Yoni Want technology method in sex coach training, I want to offer also to other women. And there, a further transformation happened. I have students who left their muggle works because they felt like drying and switching off more and more to build up an activity, a work that enlightens them. And now they are becoming successful sex coaches, because the sex coach is a positive trend in the market, by the way. And there is more and more requests for competent and professional sex coaches. There are women who write me, oh, I felt free, independent, autonomous, and self-confident with a great value for the first time. I can quote all of my students like Hani, Terhi, Katerina, Martina, Noemi, Monica, who are Laura, that they have had so many incredible results through sex coach training that I cry every time I train them. It's so moving for me. They had so much incredible results for themselves and also as sex coaches with other women, incredible results with their clients and patients, applying my teachings in their job. And they have started, some of them have started working with women, with couples, with teenagers, guiding menopausal women or guiding young maidens into menarche. So they choose some of my students to specialize, creating a safe space of listening and healing and consciousness for other people. So that's why I say what I'm teaching, they are teaching, they are guiding other women at the same time. And if some of you here studied already with me, please let me know. Or if you listen to my podcasts, please let me know how putting into practice my teachings changed your life. Let me know that. So, sex coach training is not just another training on sexuality, also because this is the only one quoted in the universities, cited in the universities, for the practical results and changes in women's life, not only sexually, but in their relationships, in their way of inhabiting the world. Every time I train these women, I transmit my teachings, I see that they change their way of inhabiting the world in a more poetic way, in a more juicy way. So if you are feeling the calling to join sex coach training and all the other amazing women from all over the world that are part of this, then listen to the call. I have so many examples of real storytelling of students who changed totally their life through sex coach training. Like Maria Grazia, she's a primary school teacher. Soon after this training, she ended up toxic, dysfunctional relationship with a former partner, and she started walking the orgasmic path, first of all for herself, and then now recently she wrote me she found a partner with which she is experiencing the ways, the path of the ecstatic pleasure. She has rediscovered her passions, her talents, like singing, like music, like poetry. She's an amazing poet. And she is herself helping other women reclaiming their pleasure, or reconnecting with her Yoni power. This is the key. This is the portal. This is the keeper of the codes. Or also I can tell you the story of Nadia. She's a psychologist and she was blocked on money, on sex, and in relationship. Every one of these three areas was a disaster. Then she started sex coach training with me, and she ended up a dysfunctional relationship. After years, she rediscovered her sexual power, which was like a dragon, and she didn't know. She looked like a child, and she discovered a dragon, explosive like never ever in her life. And now she's enjoying the practices of sacred sexuality, and she started affirming herself and becoming a successful sex coach, holding events and conferences and private sessions. Or I can tell you about Laura, a gynecologist that experienced an incredible reawakening of her sexuality with her partner after motherhood diluted a little bit that passion in the couple. She started feeling those orgasmic sensation, ecstatic sensations never experienced before in sex, reweaving that state of complicity, like a state of togetherness and partnership in the couple, starting to bring also the Yoni Egg and Yoni Wand technology method that she learned in sex coach training with me in her medical practice with her patients. And also she started an important work project with her partner. So their couple, their love life improved so much that they started projecting things together, even in work. Do you resonate with those stories? Or would you like to experience such a transformation in your personal love and relationship life and in your work and finances, and your money and wealth life? Write me. Oh, because orgasm is medicine. Like the great journalist and researcher Naomi Wolf wrote in her book Vagina, sexual pleasure changes the chemicals in our brain. And deep orgasm that I teach in sex coach training, so not the first level orgasm, not just clitoral orgasm, I teach deep, deep, deep medicine orgasms. Deep orgasms relaxes oxytocin, lowers down the cortisol, and improves the mood and increases the clearness, the clarity, and creative ability of problem solving. So do you understand the power that we carry and the impact that it has on every area of our life? All the women, I can testify that did sex coach training, started living a full, juicy sexuality and became more empathic, more present, more mindful, more connected with their bodies, their feelings, with their partner, with the world. And this had a direct impact on leadership, on empowerment, and on relationships. So you would ask me, why does the world need today more than ever a sex coach, competent sex coach? We live in an historical period in which intimacy is in a crisis, and we know it. Not before, because before it was different, but now we know it, and it's even made worse by the crazy use of socials and emotional analphabetism and ignorance. So we live in a world of superficial relationships, pornography, bodily alienation, emotional disconnection, functional and emotional ignorance. At the same time, we are assisting a global reawakening because more and more people, especially women, but also some men, want to reclaim a juicy sexuality, a joyous and incarnating sexuality. And they're no more satisfied like pretending they're okay, like our grandmothers did. And the majority of our grandmothers or mothers, even, I have students that tell me that their mothers told them, oh, sex is something you have to do to keep your partner. It's not what I teach. My teachings are all about opening more, being able to stand more and more pleasure, more and more love, and more abundance in your life. So women who come to training with me are brilliant women, very clever, high cultivated, that are already on the path that they say, I am worth it. I want to heal. And there are more and more women out there. They are looking for true mentors, to sex coaches able to guide them in their transformation. So there is a calling. Do you hear that? Is it so also for you? Do you feel there is an awakening happening? We have the power of Lysistrata, of the ancient Greek classic. We have so much power that we can cancel the world, the worst. Becoming a sex coach, meaning saying yes to transformation because you want to be at service of love, at service of change. So I am teaching and incarnating spirituality, entrepreneurship, cultural revolution, science, because every one of my teachings is based on science. And there is also spirituality. It's very complete and profound work. And it's also a feminist, practical path that goes through pleasure. And in all that, our yoni is the compass. You don't have to become somebody else. I'm not talking about that. I'm inviting you to come back to you, to become more you than ever. Learning how to listen to yourself, to reconnect your brain, your heart, and your yoni. Because she speaks. There are many practices to come back to her wisdom and her intelligence. She talks, she can close, she can open, she can pulse, she can withdraw and say no or yes. Have you ever connecting with her voice, with her wisdom, telling you, this choice is not good. No, no, no. Or yes, this is the right thing. Yeah. Or no, 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 no. She talks. She has her own intelligence. Now, science has demonstrated that we have several kinds of intelligence, not just the brain intelligence, but also the gut intelligence, the heart intelligence. I have spoken already of cardio coherence, inter-self and intra-self, of psychology, and we have a yoni intelligence. So it's about coming back to our body and to trust the answer. And you will learn in sex coach training to translate the yoni subtle language into a powerful guide, wise guide, guiding you towards what really nourishes you. So if you feel resonating with all that, please know we're starting now. Sex coach training is starting now, and it will last 6 months. It will be online, and I will teach you everything: anatomy of pleasure, breathing techniques, special and very ancient and secret sexual practices, movements, the energetic use of crystals, because we work with natural crystals of various shapes, geometries, curves, and kind of crystal. I will teach how to use the yoni wands, the yoni eggs, and the anal wands to work on the pelvic floor and to work with Chinese medicine on the reflexology of the yoni and other parts of the body. I will teach you ethical marketing and business. We will work on money and opening up to more pleasure, more abundance, more love, which are all intertwined. There will be an individual mentoring with a personal tutor for every student. There will be a private session with me. I will teach you the ethics of sexual coaching. I will teach you the practices, trauma-informed, neurosciences, psychosomatic. It's amazing. It's a jewel, this training. And there will be monthly lives, which are going to be recorded. So even if you cannot be always there live, you can write the question you have, and you're going to receive the answer. And you will be a part of a group of marvelous women from all over the world, which are brilliant women, brilliant professionals, with which you can grow and enhance your evolution. There will be interactive tests, but above all, a lot of deep medicinal orgasms, which is the most potent medicine. That's why I never take medicines. I've not taken medicines for years. Only really, really rarely, of course. It's very rare that I take medicines because I am very in touch with my sexual energy. So, like everything changed for me, and I decided to offer these teachings now 15 years ago. I studied for 20 years, and 15 years ago, I started teaching. Like it changed everything for me. It changed everything for my students in sex coach training. It can change everything for you, and you deserve it. So if you feel called to join sex coach training, which is starting now, this is the moment, the best moment to register because there is an early bird offering available. We're going to start in a few days. And if you want, you can book a private free session with me. It's totally free. And I can help you evaluate if this is the path for you, if this is the moment for you. And otherwise, if you're already ready to join in, you can go on my Instagram, which is Maya Vassallo Di Florio _ sacred sex, or you can write me in the comments, or you can write me an email at maya@mayavassallodiflorio.com. You can write me in DM, you can contact me. Now it's really easy to contact me, and you will receive from my team all the infos to join sex coach training and start your sexual and love and pleasure revolution. So now, as I promised, I tell you what I wanted to tell you at the beginning, and this is reserved all to those who stay till the end. So thank you for staying till the end. So for those of you, we are at the 25th of July. For the first one today that applies by midnight, Italian midnight of today. So the first one of you that applies basically by today, you will receive not only sex coach training, which is the best training really to become a sex coach, specialized in Yoni X, Yoni ones, and anal ones, and it's already full of many other gifts. There is a gift area. You will receive also a Yoni egg as a gift. But also, if you apply by midnight today, you will receive for free my course, Aphrodite Mystic Rose, which is a training, a program I created now, I think 7 or 8 years ago. And it's so loved all around the world. And it works on the sacred medicine plant of the rose, which is Aphrodite herself. So if you apply by midnight today, this course, which has the value of more than 300 euros, you will receive it for free, and you will have the chance to work with the alchemical, the therapeutical and magical uses of the medicine plant of the rose. So hurry up. You will have this amazing chance to get in one sex coach training and Aphrodite Mystic Rose as a bundle. Aphrodite Mystic Rose for free. Now I want to thank you all for being with me today. This was the last live of presentation of sex coach training, which is really starting soon in the English language edition. And thank you for being here. Please feel free to share. This is the best way to support this spread of these informations, which are so useful and revolutionary for so many women and also for men. So feel free to share, and we'll meet you inside of sex coach training for those of you who want. I'll meet you there. Thank you. I'm going to say goodbye to you in Instagram. And goodbye to you all on YouTube. Mhm.